Today's lesson is how I ring in the new year. Hi, everybody. My name is Roger.
And I'm Hanny.
And welcome to the last day of 2024. Everybody, you need to get ready. You need to get used to the idea of saying 2025 when tomorrow starts. So, yes, the new year is coming just around the corner. And, of course, lots of you are heading out to celebrate the new year. You're going to probably head to 101 or wherever to watch a concert and watch the fireworks or whatever. So there are different ways in which people welcome the new year or different ways in which we ring in the new year. We ring the bells to welcome the new year and say goodbye to the old one.
哇，明天就是2025年的第一天了，同学们有没有觉得时间过得非常快呢？那这个月的主题式写作是关于 How I ring in the new year， 如何迎接新的一年。这个 ring in 就有迎接、欢庆、庆祝的意思，那么 ring in the new year 就可以表达迎接新年。同学们有习惯或是喜欢用什么方式来庆祝迎接新年呢？我们课文提供了3张图片，分别是 watching fireworks 看烟火， feasting with friends 和朋友享用大餐，还有 watching the sunrise on the mountain 在山上看日出。那我们就要选一个自己最喜欢的迎接新年的方式来写一篇作文。文章会分成2段，第一段我们要去讨论新年的意涵，还有你最喜欢的庆祝方式。第二段则是要说明这种庆祝方式对你的意义，然后分享你的经验。好，那我们现在就来练习写作吧。
Okay, here's how we introduce the topic. Of course, we could go right into this and say how we celebrate New Year's, but we want to introduce the topic so that our readers know exactly what we're talking about. So here's what we say. The new year is often seen as a symbol of hope and renewal that marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. So this is one way in which we can describe New Year, January 1st. It's seen as a symbol of hope. Hopefully things will get better in the next year. And it's also a symbol of renewal in which things change for the better. And then it marks or indicates that one chapter has finished and we've got another chapter to read. When we're reading a book, of course, we have to finish reading a chapter and move on to the next chapter. We have to keep on reading until we finish the book.
好，那我们的写作第一段呢，首先要先说明新年的意涵。那这个作文的开头就非常重要，因为读者一看到就要知道你这篇文章要讲什么。好，所以一开始课文范例就写到说，新年常被视为希望与重新开始的象征，标志着一个篇章的结束和另一个篇章的开始。那补充一下，我们用 see somebody or something as 加上名词或形容词，就可以表达把什么视为，把什么认为怎么样怎么样。那 see 也可以换成 view 或是 regard 或是 think of， 在这边呢，它是用到被动用法去表达说新年常被视为什么什么。好，那现在换你写写看，我们换一个开头方式，也许你可以说新年通常被视为一个过度转变的时期，一个让你反思过去，去拥抱迎接未来的机会。那我们其实可以用到 embrace 这个动词，它除了有拥抱的意思，还可以表达欣然接受，或者是有乐意采纳的意思。好，那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看，这个开头可以怎么写。
And here's how you might introduce this topic. The new year is commonly celebrated as a time of transition, a chance to reflect on the past, and embrace the future. So this is how you might see it. It's a time of transition, changing from one condition to another. That's what a transition is. And it's also seen as a chance to reflect on the past. Yeah, let's think about the last year, the past year. What did we do? What did we accomplish? What did we fail at? Let's all put these things together and analyze them. And then we want to embrace the future. We want to look forward to the future and give it a big hug.
好，那我们现在写完的作文开头说明了新年的意涵，接着你就要选择你最喜欢的庆祝方式嘛。我们刚刚说看烟火啊，吃大餐，到山上看日出。那我们来看看课文范例，他选择什么。
Okay, so now that we've introduced the topic, let's get right to the point here, how we ring in the new year. For me, nothing captures this sense of renewal better than seeing the first rays of sunlight on New Year's Day from the peak of a mountain. Okay, so this is one way to welcome welcome in the new year, climb to the top of a mountain and see the first rays of sunlight on New Year's Day. Of course, when the sun shines, we can see the rays going through the air, rays of sunlight. Sometimes they break through the clouds. It can be really cute. It can maybe tell you that, oh, yes, indeed, the world is really great because we can see this wonderful scene of the sun shining through the clouds. And yes, you can see the first rays of sunlight on New Year's Day from the peak of a mountain, from the top of a mountain. And after a challenging hike, reaching the summit and watching the sun come up feels like a powerful metaphor for overcoming obstacles and embracing new opportunities. So, of course, if you want to go to the peak of a mountain, you need to have a challenging hike. It might take you a while. And yes, indeed, if you want to see the sunrise, you might have to do this hike in darkness before the sun comes up, or maybe you hike up there the day before and camp out, who knows. And so you have this challenging hike, and then you reach the top, you reach the summit, and then you watch the sun come up. What is that like? Well, it's a powerful metaphor for overcoming obstacles and embracing new opportunities. A metaphor, of course, is just kind of a symbol for something, like life is climbing a mountain, for example, where we have to keep climbing and climbing until we reach the top, but then we get our reward in the end.
好，那我们来看课文范例，他选的就是在山上看日出的这个图片，所以他提到说，对我来说，没有什么比在元旦这天从山顶上看到第一道曙光更能体现这种万象更新的感觉了。也就是说，这件事情啊，是最能体现这种万象更新的感觉。他这边就是用到否定语义的字词 nothing 去搭配比较级来表达出某事情是最怎么样的，没有什么事物比某事物更怎么样了。好，然后他接着写到说，经过充满挑战的攀登后，抵达山顶并看到太阳升起，感觉就像是克服困难和拥抱新机会的强大隐喻。所以这边 metaphor 就是有那种隐喻的意思。好，那换你写写看呢？也许你可以说，就我个人而言，我觉得跟好朋友啊，跟朋友一起去享用跨年大餐，是一种纪念过去，同时有展望未来的好方法。一起吃饭不但可以享受美食，也可以跟这个亲人来建立联系，创造这种持久的回忆。好，那我们补充一下，刚刚课文它是用 for me 对我来说来引出他自己喜欢的庆祝方式，你也可以用到 personally 这个副词去表达就个人而言，在我个人看来怎么样去引出你喜欢的庆祝方式。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
Okay, here's how you might write it. Again, you want to answer the question, how do you ring in the new year? Well, for me, personally, I find that enjoying a New Year's Eve feast with friends provides a great way to express this idea of looking forward while honoring the past. Personally, Hanny, I've never really celebrated New Year this way. We usually finish with our meal at around 5 or 6 o'clock, and then we wait until midnight to ring in the new year. So I suppose this is a form of 宵夜, or a midnight snack, if you're going to enjoy a New Year's Eve feast with your friends in a nice restaurant that has a big window with a view of Taipei 101, so you can see the fireworks when 12 o'clock rolls around. And yes, indeed, having that feast with your friends is a great way to express this idea of looking forward while honoring the past. You're with your friends and you're going to renew your friendship and move on into the new year. Sharing a meal together is not only a way to indulge in delicious food, but also an opportunity to bond with loved ones and create lasting memories. So these are some reasons why you want to have this New Year's Eve feast. You can share that meal together, and it's a way to enjoy the delicious food, but you can also bond with your friends to further enhance your relationship with your friends and your family, and you can become even better buddies for life, and you'll have lasting memories that you'll talk about forever. Oh, do you remember that time we got together for New Year's Eve? Yes, I remember it very fondly.
Roger 老师说他刚刚没有尝试过在跨年这种跟朋友吃大餐。我记得我学生时代曾经有一次是去吃麻辣锅唱 KTV 夜唱，那真的是很棒的回忆。好，那我来看看课文范例他接着怎么说这样子的庆祝方式。
Okay, everybody, we're back on the mountain again. So it's a quiet and reflective moment that helps me kick off the new year with a sense of peace and clarity. So this is one reason why I climb the mountain to watch the sunrise. Yes, it's a quiet moment. It's not noisy. It's not ridiculously annoying like it is in some parts of the city. It's out in the country on a mountain. And yes, indeed, I can enjoy the new year. I can start the new year, kick off the new year with a sense of peace and clarity. My mind is clear, and the new year is going to be really great.
好，那课文范例提到说，这是一个安静和沉思的时刻，帮助我以平静和思路清晰的感觉来开始新的一年。那他用这一句去作为他第一段的结尾。那我们来看，换你写写看，我们要去讲这个跟朋友吃大餐这件事嘛。那也许你可以说，这是一个可以让我用喜悦感恩的心情来展开新年的一种美好传统惯例这样子。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
Yep, here's how you might write it concerning your big meal with all your friends. It's a lovely tradition that helps me start the new year with feelings of joy and gratitude. And that's how we wrap up this topic here. Yes, indeed, having that big feast is a lovely tradition, just like your tradition of having a meal with your friends and singing karaoke. That was probably a lot of fun there. And yes, it can create those feelings of joy and gratitude. Thank you for being my friend. I will be your honest friend, your loyal friend forever.
好，那我们接着要进入写作第二段练习。那这时候我们就要表达这种庆祝方式对你个人的意义，还有你个人的经验，把它描述出来。那我们来看看课文范例怎么写。
Okay, here's how you might describe watching the sunrise. I have been greeting the new year by watching the sunrise for the past couple of years. The reason I never tire of it, the reason I never get tired or bored of it, is the feeling of accomplishment and inspiration it brings. So yes, indeed, I'm describing the fact that I have been watching the sunrise for the past couple of years, and I don't get bored of it, even though it might seem boring to some people to stand on a mountain and watch the sun come up. That's not exciting. You don't have food, you don't have music and singing and dancing and things like that, but still it's very peaceful, and it gives me a sense of accomplishment. I did climb the mountain after all to get up here to see the sunrise, and it also brings me some inspiration. There's the sun, the symbol of life in the solar system. The future can only be good.
好，那我们看课文范例，他提到说，过去几年我一直透过看日出来迎接新年，我乐此不疲的原因是因为它所带来的成就感和启发。好，那这是对他个人的意义，还有描述他的经验。那我们来看看，换你写写看，是关于这个跨年跟朋友吃大餐的。也许你可以提到说，我跟朋友一起吃跨年大餐已经好几年了，那么这样做永远都不会觉得厌倦或是觉得过时啊，因为每一年大家都会有这种新的故事，然后可以有新的目标要奋斗，大家都可以一起分享这样。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
Here's how you might write it. Again, we're talking about that big feast with friends. I've been having a New Year's Eve feast with friends for several years now. It is a long tradition, and doing so never gets old. It's always exciting, it's never boring, because every year brings new stories to tell and new goals to strive for. So, of course, we have conversation during dinner there, and we come up with new stories. A lot of new things happened in the last year, and then, of course, we can tell each other what we want to accomplish in the new year.
好，那我们继续来看看课文他怎么继续阐述他这个过去他在山上看日出的经验。
We're back on the mountain, so standing on the mountain and taking in the whole horizon fills me with a sense of freedom and possibility. So there I am on top of the mountain, and I can look all around me. I can see the horizon along with the rising sun and everything else. I have a sense of freedom and possibility. That means things are going to happen in the future. The light breaking through the clouds reminds me that every day offers a new chance to grow, learn, and achieve. So again, those rays of sunlight give me some indication that the future is going to be good. The physical struggles of the hike mirror the ups and downs we face throughout the year. So yes, indeed, the challenge of climbing that mountain to see the sunrise is kind of like life. We have to climb every day to achieve things, but in the end, we always have a sense of accomplishment.
好，那课文范例他就提到说，站在山上看着整个地平线，让他充满自由跟可能性的感觉。这个还有描述到穿透云层的光线，提醒他每天都有这种成长、学习、实现的新机会。然后他又提到攀爬的身体疲累，反映着我们整年所面临的起起落落。所以呢，这边他是用很具体、很生动的方式，让我们好像有画面一样，包含去看那个地平线啊，还有那个光线，然后呢，也呼应到他前面提到这个隐喻。好，那接着我们来看看，换你写写看呢，也许你可以提到说，我们用这种跟朋友吃大餐的方式来度过假期，那你有好的陪伴，然后有美味佳肴，这些乐趣呢，就结合了创造出一种幸福还有联系的氛围，那可以让个人为未来做一切的准备。好，这边我们可以用到 what lies ahead 或者是 whatever lies ahead 去表达未来的一切在你面前的所有事物。所以呢，你就可以表达说，这样跟朋友吃大餐，让你可以更充分的去准备好，去迎接接下来所有可能会发生的事情。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
And here's how you might write it. Again, you're describing this great feast with your friends. Spending the holiday this way combines the joy of good company with the pleasures of a delicious meal. So you're there with your friends, you can tell stories, you can laugh your heads off, and you can eat great food. The warmth of shared laughter and the excitement of toasting the new year create an atmosphere of happiness and connection that makes me feel better prepared for whatever lies ahead. So indeed, some people like to be together with other people to welcome the new year. Some people like to be alone on the top of a mountain. But here, you're with your friends. It's exciting. We're laughing. We're toasting the new year with champagne. And yes, we all feel happy. It's an atmosphere of happiness. And we all feel connected to each other. We feel like we're one together. And we feel better prepared for the new year. We all will accomplish great things in the new year together.
好，那我们接着来看看第二段的结尾课文范例它怎么写。
And here's how we conclude our essay. This makes the tradition an ideal way to start the year with a clear mind and a hopeful heart. Okay, so again, going to the top of the mountain to watch the sunrise is a great tradition. It's an ideal way to begin the year. My mind will be clear and I will have a hopeful heart. I look forward to what will happen in the new year.
好，那结尾的部分课文范例提到说，这使得这个传统成为以清晰的思路和充满希望的心开启一年的理想方式。好，那换你写写看，我们提到这个跟朋友吃大餐这件事情嘛，那我们在做结尾的时候，也许你也可以说，简而言之，这个传统提醒了我珍惜友谊，还有共同庆祝人生里程碑的重要性。那这边我们可以用到 milestone 来表达里程碑，或者是指重要阶段。那我们请 Roger 老师告诉我们，换你写写看可以怎么写。
And here's how you might conclude this essay. In short, this tradition reminds me of the importance of cherishing friendships and celebrating life's milestones together. So yes, indeed, we need to cherish our friendships. We need to recognize that our friendships are very important to us, and we can always celebrate the milestones in life together. Milestones like getting married, having children, getting a new job, etc., etc.
好，那我们现在练习完这些写作部分呢，我们要进入第二部分，来看看我们的 sample essay。
Okay, this is part 2, our sample essay. The title is The First Rays of Sunlight on New Year's Day. Okay, so the new year is often seen as a symbol of hope and renewal that marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Renewal just means things are new again. The old things go away and then we get new things. And a lot of people think the new year symbolizes that. For me, nothing captures this sense of renewal better than seeing the first rays of sunlight on New Year's Day from the peak of a mountain, maybe Ali Shan or something like that, or maybe Yushan or whatever. You can see the sunrise from there. Yes, indeed, if you're at the peak of a mountain, you can get this sense of the new year coming in. And after a challenging hike, reaching the summit and watching the sun come up feels like a powerful metaphor for overcoming difficulties and embracing new opportunities. So indeed, yes, life is climbing a mountain. So that's a metaphor for life and for climbing a mountain. You can overcome those difficulties. We have problems, but you can face them and overcome them. You can conquer them, and then you can embrace new opportunities. You can accept them and move forward. And it is a quiet and reflective moment that helps me kick off the new year with a sense of peace and clarity. If it's reflective, that means you think about things, you look back and see what you did and what you didn't do, and you can kick off the new year, you can begin the new year with a sense of peace and clarity. Of course, you're not distracted by all the noise and the fireworks of New Year's Eve. You're welcoming in the new year with a clear conscience.
好，我们看到第一个段落，它有提到这个 watching the sun come up。这个 come up 可以表达太阳或月亮的升起。那我们补充一下，其实 come up 还有接近、走近的意思。那也可以表达那种接近啊、即将发生的语义。像如果我们说 Lunar New Year is coming up， 就是表达农历新年就快到了。然后 come up 还可以表达突然发生、出现。所以如果说 something has come up， 就是表达突然有事。另外补充一个片语是 kick off， 它本来是用来指开球。 头。那在这边引申表示开始，或者是指活动的开场、开幕。那如果把 kick off 合在一起，就可以变成名词 kick off。好，那我们来看下一个段落。
Okay, here's the next part of our essay. I have been greeting the new year by watching the sunrise for the past couple of years. So it's not a new tradition. I've been doing it for a little while. The reason I never tire of it, the reason that I never get bored of it, or it never makes me tired, is the feeling of accomplishment and inspiration it brings. So you have a sense of accomplishment. You've done something and you've done a good job. It was difficult, but you finished it and you feel really good about yourself. And it also brings you inspiration, which means you think about the future and you think, hey, new things can happen. There are a lot of possibilities in the future. And standing on the mountain and taking in the whole horizon, looking at everything around me, fills me with a sense of freedom and possibility. I feel like a free person here on top of this mountain, and there are lots of possibilities when I go back down the mountain, back into the city. And the light breaking through the clouds reminds me that every day offers a new chance to grow, learn, and achieve. So I'm reminded by looking at those rays of sunlight through the clouds, I'm reminded that every day is a new opportunity. You can grow, you can learn, and you can achieve things. And the physical struggles of the hike mirror the ups and downs we face throughout the year. So yes, you have a struggle of hiking up that mountain. You need to go up trails and over rocks and through streams and things like that. So of course, that is a challenge. It's a physical struggle, but it mirrors the ups and downs we face throughout the year in our lives. So yes, they're kind of like a metaphor for life, forging those streams, climbing the mountains, etc. It's like life. And this makes the tradition an ideal way to start the year with a clear mind and a hopeful heart. And I suppose this person is going to continue this tradition for many years to come.
好，那这边补充一下，这个段落有用到 take in， 那在这边是表达欣赏啊、参观、观看，这时候后面常常会接景色啊、地点或是影片等等的名词。另外文中还有用到 ups and downs， 它是表达兴衰或是起伏。up 跟 down 在这边都是当名词，而且是当复数形来使用。那么这个 ups 就可以去表达这个繁荣成功的时期， downs 就可以表达失败啊、衰弱的时期。好，那以上就是我们今天的主题式写作咯。同学们在2024年的最后一天还可以听我们节目，真是太棒了，你很棒。那接下来要继续努力，继续收听哦。
That's right. We look forward to serving you in the future. Hopefully, all of us will be able to achieve something that we can feel proud of in the coming year. From all of us here at All+ Interactive English, my name is Roger.
And I'm Hanny.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!